What up and welcome to the coffee shop, everybody. This is your host and barista, and it is the final day of 2022. And what a big day it is, right? Some of you have heard, some of you have not. Anybody who's following me on TradingView right now, on tradingview.com, if you hit me up there, my username is at Coffee Shop Crypto. You can always follow me there. You know what we're talking about here. This is the MassEfx moving average, right? I'm sorry to burst your bubble. This is not a video telling you about a new update to the MassEfx moving average. This is to tell you that it has officially released the MassEfx moving average right here in the community scripts by Coffee Shop Crypto. Already 75 people have boosted it. So what I would like you to do is go ahead, go to your TradingView app, click on indicators, and type in MassEfx. Okay. Under community scripts, you're going to see it by Coffee Shop Crypto. Do me a favor, go to this link right here. Okay, where it says read more, and I want you to hit this button, just like that. Hit that button, let's boost it up, and it's just like liking this video. Of course, I want you to like this video as well. You can see that I put up some information about how it works, different ways that you can use to trade it. For example, certain things that you would turn on and turn off to be able to catch certain types of moves. For example, how to trade the dynamic EMA trend line plus the dynamic stop loss. Now, you would simply use just those two things, right? It's an example of how to do a long trade and what you look for. And the example is right here, right? So there's that one, right? And there's another example trade that you can use. How to do shorting when you're shorting against the delta red area. Now, delta red, I'm going to tell you what that is in just a few minutes. Okay, so the delta red is opposite of the delta green area. All right, you would actually use the delta red plus your stop loss plus your dynamic trend line, right? And you're looking for certain things to take place. And then there's an example of how to short a delta red area. Like this is your delta red area. These two bars up here, delta red, delta green, okay? And your bars are changing colors according to where they are above or below your dynamic moving average, which is something you also set. Okay, you see how the bars turn to green because they move above this moving average. Volume is above that average, and you are closing above that average. So those bars change to green. Okay, so I'll get into that in just a second. Now, shorting the delta red zone. Now, there's another one, how to trade support and resistance. There's method 1 of doing it, and there's method 2 of doing it. There's a lot of stuff here, a lot of information here. Trading support and resistance levels, right? I don't know why I don't have them up on my screen here. It's kind of strange because the indicator actually shows you support and resistance levels. But I think it's because there's too many lines in the picture. But you can see here's your price is coming down. It hits your first low, and then it makes a high. I call this the first low because it actually comes down here, and it makes a high that is higher than this one. So this is your first low. Then you have a high. Then you have a low, high, low, right down here, and then a high. Everything is just kind of stepping down nicely until you get to here. Here's a low. Here's the high, but it's not higher than the previous low. See, this low is here, and this one didn't make it. So this is your break of structure. Market has changed. So you would actually enter your trade, when you pass through this level, because here's your low, and you get a higher high, but your candle changes to red and it closes below that level. So you would enter here and you would wait until you see a break of structure and you would exit there, or you would exit when the exit indicator shows up, or you would exit when your price breaks above your stop loss. You have a stop loss because, well, your price should be below your stop loss when you're in a downtrend, and your price is, right, above your stop loss when you are in an uptrend, right? Pretty simple. You don't have to wait for it to change colors before you get out of your trade. You do have to wait for it to change colors to get into your trade. Now, let's see here. What else do we have here? Overlapping delta areas. This is very important. Here, like I said before, is your delta red area, these two red bars that are right next to each other. And your price comes in and gets stuck in between them. But you can see there's a green line in between the red ones, right? And the other green line is here. Your delta areas are overlapping each other. Okay, they're overlapping just the side of the green. Sometimes your red completely is engulfed by the green area, or the green area is completely engulfed by the red area, right? When that happens, you do not trade that because this delta area is a range. It's a very strong range. So if you have two ranges that meet each other, then at that point, you have no volume, you have no momentum, you have no price action, you have nothing, okay? There are no trades taking place when you are in a overlapping delta area, all right? Now, what else did I put up here? Using dynamic support and resistance trend lines, right? Not sure if you can see it too well in the video, but you can see here price is moving up and it hits this red dotted line. This is the trend line, and it's drawing it automatically for you. Okay, I'm going to show you on my price chart. The red one is a dynamic resistance level, which means price is coming up and it's hitting it and it's getting stuck, right? You can see back here, price came up, it hit an area, and it pushed down. This is a dynamic resistance area. Price also moved down in a couple of places, in a bunch of places, and it made this dynamic support level. Now, what is the key relevance of these? You're going to see them change position over and over and over again on your chart as price moves on, right? But when they line up with each other in the direction of the trade that you want to take, right? If you're looking for long positions and these are lined up like a channel, and they're pointing upwards, then that means you're good to enter your trade. Your retest is done, and you are good to go long at that point. Now, you can see here that, for example, here's your delta green area, okay? You got stuck in it. You broke above it, but at this point here, at this point of price action, your trend lines were not accurate. They weren't lined up right. So you had to wait for them to line up with each other. A few more candles later, you dipped into your zone, you dipped into your delta's green zone, and you broke out of it. So that means, hey, what's going on? My lines have lined up with each other. I'm above my delta green zone, so I can actually enter for a long position. You most likely could target the delta red area if it's close enough. So here's the same setup like a few candles later, right? Same setup. Remember, this candle broke out of your delta area. Okay, it's the same thing. And look at your trend lines now. They're all over the place, right? Why? Because you are now ranging. When your lines are converging against each other like a V sideways, then you are basically trapped in a range. And this delta area is already telling you that. So you would exit when they cross into each other, when your when your trend lines cross into each other, and you are in this delta area. So let's get over to the chart real quick and take a look at some live action. Like I said, go to the indicators, type in the MassEfx moving average and go and add it to your chart. Make it your favorite because it is the only thing that you will be using. Now, I'm going to let this one play just so you can see what it does real quick. I want to show you something about the dynamic support trend line and the resistance trend line. Now this, let me just kind of point this out here. This is a support trend line, okay? And this is a resistance trend line. Now you can see price is trying to break out of that area. It's trying to move up. It's trying to move up, and it's not doing it. It's creating this this resistance area. And when they're lined up with each other, you know that you can stay in this downtrend. And you can see price kept coming down and touching this same type of level. That's why I kept saying support and resistance areas, right? They're not always just flat lines, just going horizontal. Let me just do this, and let's raise up the color a little bit just so you could see that, right? Hey, where did it go? Yeah, there we go. So you could put one here, you could put one here, you could put one here, right? Anywhere on the price, anywhere that price came down and hit something, okay? But it's never been truthful to me that support and resistance areas were supposed to be horizontal lines. I don't believe in that. What I fully believe is that they are supposed to be dynamic support and resistance areas that are on angles every single time. All right. And here now you have an indicator that draws those lines for you. You can see where they are right now. Here's your resistance. Here's your support. You can actually see your old one and your new one, your old one and your new one. What you'll also notice is that the delta areas, they change. Okay. Your delta area started here, the green one. This red one started here, but your price is way over here. So now that you're entering towards your green delta area, this old one will disappear. It's going to fade out as volume and price move against it, and then it's going to create another one. So let's just watch the magic happen on the screen a little bit. Here you go. And I am watching the delta. I'm looking at my trend lines. You can see that you broke below nicely. You already broke below your delta area. Okay. Your trend lines are still pointing down as a channel, still pointing down. Now, I don't know if you saw that real quick. Let's do this. I'm going to tap this forward slowly. Okay. You're going to see that your support area, okay, the support lines, you see they're pointing down. Eventually, you're going to see them start to kick up at a 45-degree angle the other way. What did I say about when your trend lines are looking like this? Here, there, right? When they start to do this, when they cross over each other, that's when you know you have movement coming in the opposite direction, okay? Take this out. We don't need that. I need that. I don't need this. So you can see that your resistance area is pointing down, your support area is pointing down, but you have broken below your delta area, okay? At this point, when you are below a delta green area, you should be looking for divergences or oversold levels, okay? So let's just kind of skip forward. I'm looking at the RSI real quick for divergences. I'm also looking at that green support level when it kicks back the other way, right? And you see how it's starting to change its direction a little bit. Slide forward. There you go. So here's your new one. It just popped up and it's getting very, very flat. Move up to the next one. There you go. Now it's moved up to the upside. At this point, I would exit because you have a low and then a higher low. At this point, you will probably end up with a divergence on the next candle. Not that you will, but this is either a strong pause in your trade or a divergence showing up, or it is a complete change of direction in the trend. And let's see what happens there. An even stronger move to the upside. Your support, your dynamic support line is now kicked to the upside, and it's crossing over, directly crossing over your other one. Okay, you see that you are now above your average RSI, still kicked to the upside, still flat, and now it made a new delta area. You can see it. You can see it. Watch it make a delta area. Okay, so you see that delta is here, green delta, right? Let's slide forward. Oops, let's kick it a little faster. Now it's green delta is right here. You saw it slide away from the other. It just disappeared from the old zone. Now you get another one, I think. Nope, that's it. Now you broke above your green delta area, and at some point you had an uptrend indication, right? So let me go back here. All right, there you go. Now, so I see my trend lines are still pointing down. Here's my most recent resistance area, but my support area is still pointing down. I need everything pointing up, like in this direction. I need them both pointing in that direction, and I have to be above this delta area. That would be where I start looking for long positions. Okay, so let's just kick forward real quick. They're crossed over, right? So it's not a move to the upside, but my stop loss is down here and it's green, which means I'm above, my price is above a green stop loss. So I should be looking for longs. I don't have any longs yet. My trend line, not my trend line, but my dynamic EMA, my dynamic moving average is also green. I should be looking for longs, okay? and there. Now, everything's pointing up, but they're still crossed over each other. So I don't fully trust this move. I would get in because you could see how this candle has closed bullish through this resistance area. I would simply trade this to the previous high. That's it. I'm sorry, the previous high or the previous swing high. And if I draw a line for you, see price came down, made a high right here, right? So I'm going to go to the close of this candle, draw a line out. I'm going to take price to this level. I'll take a long position to this level. This is essentially trading a pullback, okay? Right there. My swing low is where else? On the other side of delta. Take this out. There you go. You end up catching that move. And why not the rest of the move? I don't know. Maybe this is a divergence. Like I said, once you end up breaking your levels, breaking your take profit levels, that's when you start looking for divergences. Here you have, now the other good thing about having these trend lines drawn out automatically for you is that you can clearly see where you are supposed to look for your divergences. Here you have a high. Here you have a high. And it already drew those highs up for you. So you just look down at your RSI. Here you have a high. Here you have a lower high. Of course, you should not be in this position. You should not be in this trade for a long position. Get out. What I also see on the next candle is that I have a big rejection, right? This is a rejection of this support area. However, my moving average is red. My stop loss is green. I am entering a new range, okay? When you understand price action, that's what's happening here. Let's see what happens. My delta area has started new. I entered into a new delta area, immediately broke out of it, right? Immediately broke out of it. Now, if I was playing this at normal speed, right? If I was playing this at normal speed, then let's see, your moving averages are already set up there, right? My delta area shows up and I immediately break out of it. And let me go back one candle because I'm clicking forward too fast and I need to slow down. So here, right there, you get this little hammer candle to the upside. I'm sorry, it's not a hammer candle. It is a morning star candle, I believe it is, right? So that's creating a new delta area. And your next candle starts out bearish, closes bullish. It's above the delta area. This is a clear indication that you could get into a long trade again to your previous high, right? So you would enter long here and you can set 2 take profits. Here's your previous high. Remember that divergence? You want to get out here. So I'll say that's take profit 1. And that resistance area is take profit 2. Let's see how this plays out. Here's my swing low down here. It's below my delta and it's below my previous swing low. Play this forward. 2 candles later, first one hits take profit 1, second one hits take profit 2. So very, very important to follow these trend lines, follow the information that's happening on the screen. I know it may sound like a lot. I know I ran through this pretty quickly for you guys and it sounds kind of technical, but this is the level that I'm going to get you guys to. I just entered 3 or 4 random trades and was able to make a profit on every single one of them. So at this point, you guys are going to be able to start making proper trades and not have any losses. So that being said, I hope that video is quick enough for you. It's a quick presentation of the different parts of the MassEfx moving average. There's a lot going on here. I would suggest that you just stick with the default settings for now. Don't change anything and just kind of get used to it. Start developing your own strategies, whatever you want to do. But I am going to be releasing videos related to how to use this properly, right, for different types of trading in different types of markets. Okay, I'll even get you to a position where you don't need a trend line and you don't need a stop loss. Okay, I'll even turn off the EMA right there. You will be able to trade with only your high and low areas showing. That's it. Let me put on the zone, low zone, high zone. There we go. I'm going to show you guys how you can trade using just higher highs and higher lows, okay? Just watching price action, because some of you want to sit here on a 1 minute chart, okay? Let me take this out. Go back to the beginning here. I'm going to go to the now time. Some of you want to sit on a 1 minute chart and you want to be able to trade higher highs and higher lows. And that is some serious time on your hands. If you've got time to do that, then more power to you guys, right? So that being said, I will see you guys soon and in the new year. For now, go ahead, enjoy your new toy. Peace out, guys.